What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman here for OddsShopper.com, back again with those early MLB bets, trying to attack these openers as fast as we possibly can. Get in early before the lines move. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. I got 3 bets for you, including 2 bigger than they normally are. I got a 2-unit bet and I got a 1.5 unit bet here. I think there are some very tasty lines out there that you guys should capitalize on ASAP. We're going to get into them right now. And that first bet is going to be the big 2-unit bet. We're going to Cincy. We're going to New York. Well, technically we're going to New York, but it's Reds and Mets. I want to take the under, which is currently set at 9 runs. And I want 2 units at -110. This line makes no sense to me. Let's start with the very obvious reason why. The Cincinnati Reds offense is terrible. Terrible. They project for a 90 WRC plus. This is well below average. Only Joey Votto in the projected lineup for tomorrow projects as an above average hitter. That's insane. This team from top to bottom isn't good at all. I expect them to be able to do very little offensively. In New York, the park factor for runs is 94. That means it's a pretty solid pitcher's park. So right away, not a good offense, and they're in a spot where they shouldn't score a lot of runs. Oh, by the way, Carlos Carrasco on the hill on the opposite side, a significantly better than average pitcher. Good bullpen for the Mets. I have the Reds at 2.9 runs. They are not going to be putting up a ton. Now, on the opposite end, Mets offense is pretty good. I can't deny that. 115 WRC plus. But Mike Minor's not awful. He's a slightly below average pitcher. The bullpen for Cincinnati, slightly below average. I've got the Mets at 4.7 runs. That's slightly more than average. Either way, when we add those two numbers together, we're well below this 9 line. We are not going to see this stay at 9 until tomorrow. I guarantee it. This will come down to 8.5. You're going to be able to take under 9 right now at -110. It's the best bet you're going to find anywhere right now. Take it when you can. -110, 2 units. Reds, Mets, under. Before we go any further, I got to talk to you guys about BetMGM. I've got the deal for you. You see it on the banners on the screen. If you use the promo code JOSHMLB, JOSHMLB, it's one big word, no spaces, all caps. After you click the link in the description of this video, head on over to BetMGM, make a deposit, put in a bet. It's risk-free up to $1,000. So if you can put in $1,000 to BetMGM, that first bet that you make, totally risk-free up to $1,000. You can win and just have twice as much money, or depending on what the line is when you do it. If you happen to lose, you get it right back. Now, it doesn't have to be up to $1,000. If you've only got $100 and you put it in, it's a $100 risk-free bet. If you've got even less than that, you can go a little bit lower if you need to. Anywhere up to $1,000 is going to be risk-free for you on that first bet, so long as you use the promo code JOSHMLB. It's a fantastic deal. It's legitimate free money. Your worst case scenario is you start exactly in the same spot that you would have if you didn't make the bet. That seems pretty good to me. The best case scenario, you put $1,000 down on something that's like +150 and it wins. I don't think that's the worst idea. I personally would want to put it on the Cincinnati New York under, as I mentioned before. You guys should follow me on that one, but you should absolutely click the link in the description. Use the promo code JOSHMLB and get a $1,000 risk-free bet at BetMGM. Not the typical bet that we're trying to make here, but I'm going to it anyway because it came in as a 1-unit endeavor. So let's take the Cardinals money line in Colorado tomorrow. It's -175, so you're paying a little bit of a healthy amount here, but I think they should be even bigger favorites. Miles Mikolas on the hill for St. Louis. He is a slightly better than average pitcher. Cardinals bullpen, about average. That all looks pretty good. On the opposite side, from a pitching perspective for the Rockies, Ryan Feltner on the hill. Not an average pitcher. 4.75 projected FIP via steamer. The bullpen, significantly worse as well. So I don't really like the pitching going on in Colorado. I think the Colorado Rockies lineup is about as bad as the Reds. 93 projected WRC plus. This is just a terrible, terrible offense. The Cardinals projected WRC plus is 20 points higher, 113 to 93. That is a gigantic gap. I think that gap should represent an even bigger gap than minus 175 here. I get it. It's Colorado. It's Coors. They're slightly better at home than they are on the road. They have an actual home field advantage. It's not enough to offset this. The gap in offense alone should be bigger than minus 175. Miles Michaelis to Ryan Feltner is a comparable gap. And bullpens, again, comparable gap. I think the Cardinals should be something in like the minus 200 range here. Just take it while you can. If you want to take a small amount on the under, I could see it. But 1 unit on the Cardinals, minus 175. Just take the money line. Just take the Cardinals. And finally, we're closing it out with another under, this time at a very different number. It is under 7, Yankees and Mariners. It's minus 105 right now. I want to put 1.5 units down here. This one's kind of scary, but I want to bet on the run prevention. Garrett Cole on the hill for the Yankees. I don't think anybody has to get explained how good he is. We're talking about a top 5. Well, let's just say line in the sand, top 10 pitcher in baseball. Luis Castillo is also very good, much better than average, 3.81 projected FIP. He is now on the Mariners. This is an elite pitching matchup. Yankees bullpen, exceptional. Mariners bullpen, exceptional. Now, both offenses are good. 112 WRC plus for the Yankees, 110 for the Mariners. It's a little bit lighter than they normally are, but we're talking about 2 good offenses. What's really interesting to me here is Seattle's park. 85 park factor for runs. Seattle really, really negates the scoring. It's not great for righty power. It's, not the best for lefty power either, but 95 park factor, nothing too crazy. But we're limiting home runs. We're greatly limiting runs. And we've got 2 really quality pitchers here on the hill. I'm going to go under 7 runs. I got it 3.4 for the Yanks, 2.9 for the Mariners. This seems like the spot to me. 1.5 units on under 7 runs, Yankees and Mariners. There's your 3 bets. Thank you guys for joining me on this one. Another early MLB bets video. Attack those openers, folks, and sign up at BetMGM. Clicking the link in the description and using that promo code JOSHMLB. You're saving yourself some money by hitting these openers. If they move positively for us, that's just money that is going to stay in your pocket. If you're beating these closing lines by attacking the openers, it's only good for you and it hurts the sports books. And honestly, that's what we're trying to do.